Good afternoon, everybody. For those of you that don't know me on YouTube, my name is Liam and I'm also known as the beef farmer across all of my social media channels. Welcome to my page. This is my first ever video and I'm very excited about it. I have had a lot of requests to do a YouTube account over the last couple of years, but for some reason or another it's been left, and believe you me, it took me a long time to get into the right sort of frame of mind to do this video. But here we are, we're finally posting, and thank you everyone who has supported me across my social media channels on the other ones, but also thank you and welcome to new subscribers on this channel. I started posting across my other social media channels a couple of years ago now, and I've been quite a sort of loud advocate about farming future, particularly in Wales, because that's where we're located, in the wet hills here of West Wales. And as you can see, it's a dry day here for a change. But the point is, the reason I started posting was because we as a family were concerned for our future in here farming in Wales. And this is the reason why I felt the need to start posting about it. There's been a lot of traction over the last few months, or last year. There's been a lot of changes, and I really don't want this YouTube account to be about that. So we'll steer well clear of farming politics for now and just focus on what we all love to see, breathe and experience, which is farming. We are a beef suckler enterprise in rural West Wales. I farm here together with my partner Sandy. Some of you may have seen her on other social media channels as Mrs. Beef Farmer. Some of you know Sandy. She works for Mayo Healthcare selling cattle and sheep boluses amongst a load of other animal health products. Sandy is instrumental to this farm because not only is she my partner, but she's also the mother to my children, but also a huge help on the farm, and that to me is obviously invaluable. You will meet Sandy in the next video, but this video is just an introduction as to what we do and where we're headed in the next 12 months. This farm was purchased in 2019 by myself and my family. It is very much still remains in its working clothes. There's a lot of work that's been done here, believe it or not, but there's still a lot more work to do here. The yards are all quite messy. You're not going to get any concrete perfect yards or immaculate yards here. That is very much a work in progress, and we are getting round to it slowly. But the first thing that I want to show you, the next project that I'm going to be doing in the next couple of days, is sorting this track out. Now it doesn't look too bad here, but the plan is to, you see that fence line there where there's an earth bank, that's acting as a bath. There's puddles, there's potholes, and it's terrible to drive on. Not helped by the fact that we're carrying heavy machinery over that probably every day. So the plan is to knock that earth bank off completely, and a couple of mates of mine, Smiley and Harry from Mid Wales, they're coming up over the Christmas period, or in January I think, and we're going to resurface this. We're going to put a load of better quality stone on top, and then we're going to put some even nicer quality on top of that and roll it all in. So we'll grade the road into the field rather than let the water run down the lane. That's the plan. That's my first major project. But let's get back to the farm. We're a suckler enterprise. We've got two separate herds on this farm. The conventional herd, which we've been running for years as a family, has been Limousin cross cattle, and a little bit of dairy in there as well for the milk side of things. But recently we decided to try stabilizers, and you'll see a lot more about that soon. That was Sandy's idea. I went with it. We thought we'd have a go, and do you know what? So far so good. But we'll do a separate video on that where she could explain, as it's her thing, if you like. So you know I'm a beef farmer. We don't have any sheep yet, although that may be happening soon, much to my dismay, but I think it's something that we do need to consider for this system. So I'm technically a third generation farmer, but I'm not. It's a strange one. My grandparents were farming. They had a farming business for years, but they used to rent ground everywhere. They used to have tenancies everywhere. And to be honest with you, it worked for them because they didn't have a huge business. but it did get bigger and it got a lot harder to sort of juggle everything and get round, feed everywhere in the winter, check stock in the summer, carve in the spring. It was really difficult, so we decided to sort of look at other options. We were fortunate enough to be able to secure a purchase of this farm, which is a big block altogether. Primarily just do bales, as you can see behind me. We've got a fair stack there, and Fencing with Phil, you may have seen, does all our baling. Fencing with Phil is on our other social media channels. He is a fencing contractor, he's a mate of ours, but he does baling as well. So we work together in the summer. Again, there'll be more videos on that to come. So that's who I am, that's what we do. But interestingly, let's move on to talk about machinery. Now, for those of you that know me, know that I'm somewhat of an Orange Tractor fan, much to some people's sort of surprise, and indeed I think they're a good tractor. Of course, we got the Kubota M7 that I've sort of customized with black wheels. She's a good tractor, and that's come from J Reese along with the trailers. And we've also got that stock box there, a Nugent trailer. We find the two are sold by a local dealer. They work well for us. The Nugents are solid trailers and the tractors are reliable, and it's handy to have everything from one dealership, because I think loyalty does go a long way. So that's our main tractor that does all the heavy hauling and sort of heavy duty work. If you come with me. Now, this is a real stock winner's little tractor. It's a Kubota M7060, and she is on the straw chopper at the moment. Just there, you'll see, and she also scrapes as well. So in addition to that, we have a telehandler, a Cat telehandler, which is an awesome machine, and also we have a Massey Ferguson 5465. Of course, we've got a load of other machinery as well, but again, we can't cover everything this time. So just a quick tour of what we do. As you can see, we've got the cattle here, the sucklers, some of them. No, they're not all here, but there's some of them here being fed bale silage. Lovely stuff on a feed barrier system, and you'll see they're munching away quite happy there. And then in the other side of the shed, we have got the young stock just here, and you'll see they're all munching away quite happy. Bit of a motley crew, because as I say, we've got a mixture of sort of limb cross cattle. I must say, this silage that we made this year, absolutely beautiful. You can smell the sugars in it, but this is what I want to show you. Okay, so that's the young stock from the first herd, and then what we've got over here are stabilizer bull beef. Now, it's gone a bit dark here, but I hope you can see them. Here they are. I know, appreciate you can only see the heads, but they're doing excellently. They're doing ever so well, and there's about 8 of them here. It's just a trial really to see how well we get on with them. So far so good. They're putting the weights on. Sandy will go into more detail about that. We've got some more stabilizers just over here. You see them in the shed there. And then separately over there, we've got heifers that we're keeping back because we want to expand the stabilizer herd. We've just had a straw delivery. As you can see, there's a load of straw behind me. We've got straw everywhere. As I say, you're not going to get videos of a immaculate farm. This is a working farm. This is the reality of farming, the ups, the downs, and somewhere in between. So I'm not going to sort of sugarcoat it. We are a beef system, and that's why I think my videos have done quite well on other channels, is because I like to think that I'm quite an honest chap, and I show the shit, basically, not just all the good stuff. So what's happening in the next 12 months? Well, you can see that our yards are shale yards and they're very dirty. So the plan is in the next 12 months to put my money where my mouth is and try and invest in concrete to make the yards a bit cleaner. That's the plan, but it's all expense and it will take time. So if you bear with me, we'll get there, but hopefully you can be part of the journey via YouTube and see how we're getting on. That's the plan. These are longer videos than what I normally do, so bear with me. If you've got any sort of suggestions as to what type of content you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments. I'd be most grateful. But as it stands, we've only been here a few years, and there's a pretty good sort of area to look at the farm from here. We got fields all the way down the bottom here, up to that far hedge and all up to the top, as well as right behind me. We have reseeded about 40 acres so far in the last few years. The plan is we reseed, we drain, and we fence the field, and then it's done. We don't have to worry about it, it's all done. This farm was never touched. It was a sheep farm and a equine stud for a number of years before we come here, and as such the priority wasn't to look after the land as much for the previous owners. It was more of a retirement sort of place and a place just to enjoy themselves. So unfortunately the hedges got left to become trees, so I've had to do a lot of maintenance, and the field work as well has need to be caught up with to make the farm more viable and ultimately more profitable in the long run. As I briefly touched on earlier, I am a third generation, but it's a funny situation because it was my grandparents who were farming the business, but it's my parents and myself and Sandy that have sort of took it to the next level. So in some ways I'm a second or first generation farmer in some ways, because we started again. But in terms of generations, there's 3 generations, so I guess I'm classed as a third generation regardless of that. So that's the dynamics of things. We've got some interesting family dynamics. We all get on, but of course, like all families that are working together in business, it can be challenging at times, particularly with the older generation, the grandparents, because they're at that stage in their life where they've done everything. You've got to give them that respect for their experience and their time, but equally new sort of innovations come by and they're not really open to try them, and that's where there's clashes. And it happens on every business, farming or otherwise, where you've got family. There's old ways of doing things and there's new ways of doing things, but it's finding a happy medium in between the two. That has been a challenge, and that is something we'll discuss in another video. So I hope you've enjoyed me waffling on, because I think it's just waffle, but there we go. I have tried to explain our situation to the best of my ability. This, as I say, is my first introductory video, so let me know, please let me have some feedback if you thought it was good or bad or whatever you think. Don't feel the need like you've got to subscribe. I'm not here to push people to subscribe. You don't subscribe if you don't want to, but please interact with the videos. I obviously, if I do receive subscriptions, I'll be grateful, but I'm not in it for that. We're at our very early stages. I'm just dipping my toe in to see how well the videos do. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'm planning on posting every Thursday. So it's a Friday today, I missed yesterday's, so that's a good start, isn't it? But every Thursday I'm planning on posting, and hope to see you in the next one next Thursday. Thank you guys, see you again.